Hello there and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Melissa Lemon with Sunrise Healing, and this month I'm going to be doing a video series on forgiveness, and I can already feel the panic, and I don't think it's mine. So welcome. We're going to get through this together. Forgiveness can be a hard word and a triggering word, and I'm going to talk about that in video 3, so come back in a couple of days. But today I just want to mention kind of what inspired this video series was I was working with a client and forgiveness came up. And forgiveness can be a real struggle when we have been victimized. And especially when there's never any justice, when there's never any recompense, when there's never any repentance, forgiveness can be a really difficult thing for us to do. And I just want to read kind of what came up as I was working that day was this paragraph. So it says, "We are often taught to forgive and forget, or that we're a sinner by not forgiving. But to me, the essence of forgiveness is just releasing ourselves from responsibility for what someone else has done. When we don't let go of responsibility, we fester, feel pride and arrogance and a whole host of other negative emotions that bring us down, compounding our pain. It's actually easier for us and way healthier in the long run if we just completely surrender responsibility for the actions of others and leave judgment to God. Others are responsible for their own choices and repentance. We are only responsible for ourselves. Sadly, sometimes this means the actions of others cause problems for us that they never take." I feel like I just should have stopped at that lesson, so I'm just going to stop. And I want to share a little something about a video I watched one time about, someone who, it was a video, I don't know, it was supposed to be about, when one of our loved ones is suffering, like with addiction specifically. It was specifically about addiction. That it's kind of like they're in, a gurney on an ambulance. Like it was comparing it to like somebody who's just been in a really bad car accident and they're physically injured and on a gurney and getting in an ambulance and going to the hospital. And this really bothered me because if you know anybody in your life who has struggled with addiction and you have to, like, you've been, had a relationship with that thing, addiction, it is so not fair to use that comparison because really there's two people in need of an ambulance and a gurney. And I think it just reminded me of how, telling somebody that they need to forgive somebody else, first of all, none of our business. Second of all, it's kind of like telling somebody who just got in a car accident and is bleeding on a gurney, getting in an ambulance, hey, why don't you forgive that person right this second? I think you should do that. If you don't, I think you're a bad person. I think you're a sinner. That's literally what it's like. And so, yeah, forgiveness is an interesting word. I think maybe in the next video I will unpack the definition a little bit and further explain my, my story and my opinions about forgiveness and what it is and what it isn't I'm sure in the coming videos. So welcome to this video series, and I'm glad you're here, and I can't wait to share all these cool things with you about this powerful word and energy of forgiveness.